To you. Next week, my wife and I will celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary. This, of course, is a perfect time to take a few moments and reflect on those 10 years and kind of relive some of the memories, look at some of the milestones, and that's what I'm going to do today, just go down through the list of some of the big things that happened over the past 10 years. So I'll start on May 26, 2002. It was a morning very similar to what it was like this morning. Slightly overcast, calm winds, and cold. At 6 a.m., there we stood, hand in hand at the demonstration gardens at MSU, looking in each other's eyes. The sun coming up over the conservatory. It's a big glass greenhouse there. We're under a pergola with vines, and there we are. We say our vows, we kiss, we head on down the aisle, starting our adventure. Our journey had begun. Fast forward about another year to May 4th, 2003. I walked down another aisle, this time with diploma in hand, finishing my undergrad at MSU. Of course, this was our first year of married life. It consisted of me finishing college, my wife Cynthia starting her first year of teaching, so we had our noses to the grindstone. Well, my nose was in a book, and her nose was in her lesson plans. It was her first year, so she was kind of laying the groundwork, getting everything started as she started out in teaching. We were busy, but it was a great year. And after all of that, we celebrated our 1 year with a nice weekend in Mackinac, going to the island and spending some great time up there. Let's see. Fast forward another couple months to October 15th, 2003. I get my first job. After graduation, I was weighing, do I get my master's in accounting to get my CPA and go that route, or do I jump into my career? Public accounting didn't really interest me that much, so I jumped into the career. I was hired at a small busing company up in Lansing called Dean Transportation. So that started another season in our life, another adventure of us both working full-time and just moving through that. March 29, 2004, that is the day we closed on our house. I was hired full-time in February, so we began the search for our house, meeting with the realtor and going to visit all these houses. And we get to the last house on our list. We were a little discouraged because this is all we can afford, these junky houses. So we're walking up the front steps of this house. We could smell the pet urine. It's middle of February, and we could smell the pet urine outside of this house. But we go inside. It's even worse. Inside, we're about gagging, but we could see the potential that this house had. So, against some good judgment about the condition of the house, we decided to go through and close March 29th. And we began the renovation process, scrubbing the walls, scrubbing the floors, tearing up the carpet, painting, getting it ready so we could move into our first house. Fast forward 3 more years, February 20th, 2007. At 8:13 p.m., our first child was born. That's probably the longest night of my life. Holding that little baby, he's not sleeping, don't know how to make him happy. What did we get ourselves into? What an adventure we have. And it has been a roller coaster ever since then, but we're holding on tight, all the little curves and ups and downs, and we're making it. September 29th, 2007, that same year, my wife's business was born. Now, she had been making baby carriers for a few friends, and that blossomed into the idea of a business. So on September 29th was her first sale, going to a mom-to-mom sale. She mostly sold through on-to-mom sales and word of mouth, and the business began to grow, and sales were up, and demand was high. And it was a really good time for her. She spent every chance she could sewing, sitting at her sewing machine, doing all that. And that was going well until about 2010 when our third son was born, and she just didn't have any time. And it was kind of a bittersweet moment for her, having to lay down the business, but also spending more time with the family. So that was another adventure that we had gone through. February 14th, 2011 is the day we started our adoption process. We had met our birth mother through mutual friends, started through that after numerous home studies, home visits, more paperwork than we could shake a stick at, or a pen, I guess. We got through all that and we were finally approved to be able to adopt. And then that started the waiting process. Well, on August 2nd, 2011, Jenna Renee was born. Now you might think that that was the end of the adoption process, but oh no. 6 more months later, 2 more home visits, and another mountain of paperwork, we finally received the paperwork from the court on April 20th that our adoption is finalized. So that ended another adventure in our lives. And of course, there's many more events, many highs and lows through all those 10 years, but it has been an amazing adventure, and we're looking forward to the next 10 years and beyond. And this time we are celebrating with a long weekend in Chicago next week. So it's been a great time, and thank you for listening to my intrepid adventure.